I remember the sound before I saw her. The sharp click of her heels striking marble as she swept into the restaurant. 5 hours late. I'd been there all evening, nursing a second bottle of wine, pretending not to notice the waiter's pity or the stranger's sympathetic stares. The candle on my table had burned nearly out. The cake they brought long ago sagged into itself. And then she arrived. My wife. Not alone, of course, but surrounded by a pair of tipsy friends, their laughter slick with champagne. "See," she called out, loud enough to capture the entire room's attention. "Told you he'd still be here, waiting like some sad little puppy." Their laughter rang out in unison, sharp, dismissive, cruel. I raised my glass and smiled. In that moment my decision was final. The marriage was already dead. It hadn't started this way. Once, she looked at me as though I was the only man alive. She whispered promises in the dark. Together we built a home, dreamed of children. For years, I believed in her. In us. But love doesn't shatter in a single night. It rots slowly, buried beneath excuses and perfume. She began working later, clutching her phone, treating me like furniture she'd grown tired of. I noticed. I always noticed. That night, as her friends ordered rounds on my card and mocked me between sips, I replayed every lie from the past year. Every slip of the tongue, every hollow apology. The pain that once cut like glass hardened into something sharper, cold, deliberate, exact. They thought I was weak, too desperate to ever walk away. They mistook my patience for surrender, my silence for defeat. They had no idea who they were laughing at. So I began quietly. No dramatic scenes, no shouting. Confrontation only warns the enemy. Instead I observed. I collected. I listened. Her phone was easy, she was careless, arrogant. One night, while she showered, I mirrored her messages onto my laptop. And there it was. Hotel bookings, late-night whispers to a man named Eric, photos she thought erased. I didn't feel heartbreak. Not anymore. Evidence had replaced emotion. And evidence was a weapon. Next came the finances. I'd always managed our money. She never paid attention. She was too busy spending. With subtle adjustments, I moved funds, created hidden reserves, transferred assets into my name. If she noticed at all, she would find nothing but illusions. Then I rewrote the will, notarized and sealed. The property, the accounts, the insurance, all slipped silently from her grasp into mine. At night she still laughed at me, smug and certain. She thought she was winning. I let her. The first strike landed on my birthday. She thought walking into that restaurant with her entourage had humiliated me. In truth, it marked the day I cut myself free. I left without paying. Hours earlier, I had quietly moved the reservation under her name, her card. Watching her face when the bill came, 5 hours of food, wine, and indulgence, was my first taste of satisfaction. I walked home beneath the city lights, lighter than I'd felt in years. But the true blow came later. The divorce papers, timed perfectly, stacked with proof of her affair, delivered straight to her office, where all the colleagues she bragged to about her perfect life would watch her fall apart. Eric received his own packet, screenshots, timestamps, photos. His wife got one too. I made sure of it. No shouting, no violence. My revenge was clean, exacting, and legal. Public enough to shame, sharp enough to cut, private enough to break her pride. And this morning, my phone lit up. 98 missed calls. Her name again and again. She knows now, about the accounts, the house, Eric's wife throwing him out, the job she may lose, her reputation unraveling under whispers. I didn't answer. I poured my coffee, sat by the window, and savored the quiet. Do I regret it? No. Marriage is meant to be a covenant. She made it into a performance. She thought I was just the audience, clapping while she danced with other men. She forgot I was the stage itself. She only stood because I allowed it. She wanted me to be a pitiful dog waiting at a table. Instead, I became the wolf who walked away, leaving her standing in the wreckage she built. I can picture her now, pacing, dialing, voice cracking with panic. Her friends, the ones who laughed at me, ignoring her calls. Eric begging forgiveness from his wife. And my wife finally realizing she was nothing more than a diversion, never the prize. Revenge isn't rage. It's precision, patience, silence held until it becomes deafening. When I entered that restaurant on my birthday, I was still her husband. When I walked out, I was something else. Free, untouchable, and done waiting.